AskReddit by Krebster 10,000. How are you feeling about the inevitable Trump v Biden rematch? Exasperated with our polarized political system that feels like a chess game that no one is winning. The ultra wealthy are winning no matter what they checkmated us decades centuries ago. Tired of living through historic times. Shouldn't ever wish to live in more interesting times. Not feeling good, my guy. I'm straight up not having a good time. I'm tired, boss. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. There's been no break since 2015. I need a political vacay. I had to stop watching the news. I'm much happier. I don't think we need a news channel, lol. I have never wanted a sequel less than this. Scared a bit because last one of a trilogy are usually the most shitty. Annoyed. As someone recently said, for my Gen X generation, in the 90s the presidents were our parents' age. And ever since then the presidents are still our parents' age. The boomer generation really needs to give up the reign they hold so tightly. Edit. Yes, Biden is from the silent generation, but that's not the point. The point is the parents of Gen X have held power for over 30 years. Time for a serious change. We need term limits and age limits and the young to vote. Shoot, Biden isn't even a boomer, he's older than that. And Trump is barely. I'm feeling like it's way past time to put an age cap for all government offices. I'm Gen X and I think 70-plus-year-olds are way too old and out of touch to be in politics. If it were literally any other job they would be too old to consider. I'd be more interested if they boxed in zero gravity. I'd happily vote for that. Weary. You must excuse me. Fucking embarrassed. It's fucking embarrassing. Kicks garbage can. I certainly think it's interesting that both have a solid chance of dying in office. Not even of an assassination or anything like that, but just because they are old. Trump doesn't seem to take very good care of himself and they are both at the age where even minor issues can escalate rapidly. I feel like either one could have a massive stroke or heart attack before November. They're also both that level of old where a flu, fall or like a real bad cold could kill them. George Washington was right. Political parties and the two-party system will be the death of us. Not two-party, which is still an issue. But citizens united. The ability for corporations to funnel limitless funds in politics makes us a fundamentally undemocratic system until that shit gets fixed. We are no longer representing the interests of the American people. We are representing corporations. Fuck, I'm tired and I live in Australia. Me too, in Scandinavia. It felt like a wonderful vacation the first year Biden was in office. I was so done with Trump ranting on media I stopped reading any news. Still not reading. I am also very scared of how world politics will turn out. The two-party system is broken. The United States was not built to have one, and it wasn't supposed to have one. Its governmental efficacy essentially hinges on a lack of a party system, and the founders cautioned against it strongly. It took over a century and a half to put into law that you should really only get to be president twice, because before, that's just the moral precedent Washington set and everyone was cool with it. After the Civil War, there really should have been a party-related amendment that functioned in some form of the same way. It is now almost certainly too late for that. Sick to my stomach. I'm having intense deja vu of 2015. I'm tired of voting for assholes I don't like just to avoid electing another asshole I don't like. More tired with the entire system. Vote for someone that you are unexcited about because the other person is an absolute nightmare and there are only two parties. Then find out the person you voted for can't even do anything because Congress is split. The find out that even after Congress is under the party of your guy it is still hamstrung by filibuster. Then find out that even if the party you support finally have the numbers there is a token senator or two that stops everything for a ego trip. Then when it seems like you got the numbers random judges on ego trips fuck with you. Then you try appealing and find Supreme Court is basically polar opposite to your party because they aren't appointed in the same timeline as your guy's election wins. And then just when it seems like things are back on track after multiple elections and new judges the next election starts and back to square one. Dejected, depressed, and wishing I could expatriate myself to Ireland or something. Or Denmark, Finland, New Zealand. Many countries have managed to somehow solve these complex problems that the US can't. Universal health care? What do we look like? The wealthiest country in the world. I'm voting in Tennessee, which basically means I'm throwing a ballot into the fucking sun. I'm also a TN voter. Still very important we vote though so people can actually see the opposition exists in the state and think their vote might matter. Physically unwell. I'm feeling like the aliens need to come get me a sap. Somewhere in between binging Taco Bell at 2 in the morning and stepping on Legos on the way to expel the aforementioned Taco Bell. While being slapped mercilessly with moist shower curtains belonging to strangers. As an Australian, when one of your best mates starts telling you they're unhappy in their current relationship, which you admit is not great, and they started texting with their ex again, the ex who legit tried to kill them a couple of times and used to scream weird racist things in restaurants, and would occasionally smash up your mate's furniture in a drunken rage, and let's not forget the time you met them for dinner and the ex brought some rando called Vladimir who kept calling you a pussy cause you wouldn't fight him. When they tell you they're texting with that ex, you have to decide whether to tell them you're not going to be their friend if they decide to get back together. Worried about political unrest at either outcome. Like I'm living in a nightmare.